Okay, welcome to our weekly team call. Today is January 16th. This is the second team call of the year, and we're kind of doing a series based off of last week's call. We talked about inviting, and this week we are focusing on the follow-up. And I'm really excited for the layout that we're going to do. First, Amber's going to start the call with some announcements, and then we will dive in.
Times there's just like a lot of information, so we just really want to like reiterate them on the team calls to make sure you guys understand what's going on, and then also answer questions if there's anything around it. But Team Cup is officially open for registration. The last day to register for your Team Cup is the 31st. Anybody, doesn't matter like if you're a brand new coach or if you've never helped anyone get started, everybody get on a team. It's a team of 5. And anybody, it can be anyone on our team, it can be on Set Your Soul on Fire, it can be any coach, any team, anywhere that's an active Beachbody coach can be on your team. You just can't have more than two diamonds. I think it's really like we can only have like one star and then 1 diamond, but like that's just the only criteria. Everything else is open for you guys. The idea is that you push really hard because there's prizes that you can win. So you're pushing to hit high success club numbers and do stuff. Nothing bad happens if you don't hit like these goals. But when you do register, everyone on the team is going to get 2 promo codes for February to save on your challenge pack. So I feel like it's worth it for that alone to just register for Team Cup so you can get those promo codes, and then hopefully use it as a motivator to help push each other and hold each other accountable. I recommend getting into a Team Cup and then starting a little chat where you guys can like have a little messenger chat and just push each other and just talk about what you're doing for inviting, and maybe even run a challenge group together. Like you guys can just be like partners, you 5. Another thing is the Success Club trip was announced it's been announced, and it's open for to opt in for April 2021. So some coaches got opportunity to register already, but if you are a new coach or you didn't, it was based on like Success Club numbers last year. So basically all coaches can opt in, and you don't pay anything yet. You just go to the Success Club Trip 2021.com. All this is like it's in Beachbody FAQs, but somewhere in our group too. You could probably just go into, what I do is I'll go into our team page and go to the like search bar and type in what I want to find. Sometimes it's like posts, and then you can, on your phone, it'll be like posts I've seen, posts by me, and I'll find things that I've said that I need to like find again. So like, that's just like pro tip. If you're ever just like, I don't know, I can't remember, just type in Success Club Trip and it'll come up. But you go there and you just opt in, and the idea is that you hit Success Club every single month to earn the trip. You guys have to hit Success Club 10 to get it paid for, like all year. But if you don't hit Success Club 10, you can still go. It's just that you're going to have to pay a little bit of quarterly fees. Oh, and everyone has to pay a $300 registration fee. But all of this is so worth it, even if you have to pay the registration fee and pay for some of your room. Once you get there, like everything is paid for, like all your food, like your room. It's really fun, and you get to bring a free guest. So you can bring your boyfriend, that they don't have to be a coach. They can be your kid, your mom, I don't know, whatever you want to. It's not like there is an opportunity to do some business stuff. I remember the last one I went to, we learned about 2B mindset, and like we listened to Carl, but it was like optional. And then, so it's much more like fun focused. I just want to like drive that home. It's not like Summit. Summit's great. It's very business and like, workshops. The Success Club trip is like party time. And then the last thing I wanted to say is today Amy announced on the team call that there's going to be a Set Your Soul on Fire team-wide Emerald push, and it's going to happen at the end of this month on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and there's going to be a buy-in. I don't know yet how much, but basically you buy in to get into this Emerald push, and then if you hit Emerald, then you get a part of the pot. And why this is so important, you should want to get to Emerald if you're not. It helps your upline, it helps your team, it helps you, but you should also be really excited to be helping your upline get to Diamond if they're not already, so then they can be part of the Mandy Kai and Amy push or Diamond push that's like kicking off on February 2nd. So you have to be Diamond to get into that. So even if you're just becoming an Emerald coach, do it for your upline, like do it for the team, because it's going to like move your business forward, but also anything that like we learn in these groups, like the Diamond Push group, we will like bring that back to you guys. So it's just really important to be able to, you want to get to Emerald. So that's going to be really cool. And she just announced that, and there'll be more details on that coming soon.
And one thing I want to add with that too, because I was looking at the entire like downline today, and what I realized is there are a lot of people on our team who have the amount of coaches you need to get to Diamond. You have like at least 8 or more coaches for at least on each leg. But you need emeralds. And even if your coaches are currently inactive, because that's the case for a lot of people, like I really want you guys to push and see what you can do in the next 2 weeks, because there is still time to get to Diamond. Like if you have all the coaches, and they're inactive, or if you have like some coaches, but and they're inactive and you're like close, like I really want you to reach out to those people, see if they'll go active, and then your coaches who are working, get them into the Emerald Push group, because there's no reason why like you can't lock in Diamond. Like if you're a brand new coach, you want to get in the Emerald workshop to go Emerald if you're not already. But like if you've been a coach for a while and you've been pushing for Diamond for a while, like Amy talked about on the team call, like there's no reason if you're doing the things and you've been a coach for a while, like that you can't make this happen. And it really is a decision. And I recently saw this training from Steve Ennis, and I'm going to go live and do live on it because I think it was really good. But he talks about how if you are building for an income before your Diamond, you have to switch your priorities, because realistically, who's here to build for an income? Who here wants, and I actually asked this question in Team Live and Love the other day, like who here wants to build a residual income with their coaching business? Okay. So if you are trying to build for income and you are not a Diamond coach, you need to be building for rank before you build for income. You need to get to Diamond, and then you can change your focus into building for income, because it's just not going to happen. Like you can build some residual income with Shakeology orders and with challenge packs, but like that isn't going to get you to that long-term residual income. Even making like $50,000 a year, I think is what Steve Ennis said in this training, is like you can do that in 2 years if you're building a solid, but first you have to focus on getting to Diamond, and that can be built off of Success Club and people being discount coaches. And then you need those 2 emeralds, but after that, then you can start building for volume, because you'll make those $18 team cycle bonuses. So I just really want to have everybody push wherever you are, if you're in your business, if you are brand new, or if you've been around a little while and you really want to like take your business to the next level. Like hopefully you see the importance of Amy and Mandy Kai's training, because it's not just it's like a Diamond and above training, which they've never done before. So I'm really excited for that, and I hope you guys get excited too. And instead of being like, oh well, there's only 2 weeks, I can't make that happen, instead why don't you see like, what can I do in those 2 weeks? Like utilize people signing up for the discount, utilize the Emerald Push group, utilize talking about coaching. Like there are so many good things, and Amy talked about a lot of like tips on this week's team call, so go back and watch that if you missed tonight's call. But I wanted to say that. And then Amber, were you going to touch on the importance of follow-ups before I dive into the other parts? Is that what?
Yeah. Okay. And then you're going to go into, I was going to do importance and then the types of follow-ups. Yeah, we're organized. We talk before these calls, guys. Like, or more like 5 minutes before. Wait, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk about? We have to game plan in case our babies are freaking out. So importance of follow-ups. So we talk about inviting, and we talk about, connections and inviting to your challenge group. And I think there's this like hesitance to follow up, because it feels kind of like, well, they know where to find me. Like I told them what I'm doing. I don't want to be pushy. But the reality is like, people need reminders. Like everybody is so busy. Sometimes people mean well, and then it like slips their mind. And at our Super Saturday, there's an elite coach, Autumn something. Actually sat next to her on the plane to Indianapolis randomly. She's one of Ashley Molstad's elite coaches, but she shared her story about how her hairdresser gave her a Shakeology sample and never followed up with her. And then she saw one of Ashley Molstad's posts and joined as a coach. And she said, like, my hairdresser should have followed up with me. And in my mind, as a hairdresser, I wouldn't want to be pushy. So I think I would have just been like, well, she knows where to find me. I gave it to her. But like, there's nothing wrong with following up. Like, even if it's just simply like, what'd you think of that sample? What did you think? You know, like, it can be I'm going to get into like the types, but it's just so crucial, because if you don't follow up, just like if you don't invite, someone else will, and you might have invited them, and then someone else will just be better about following up with them. And it doesn't mean, and sometimes people don't even realize that they have to pick a coach. They just think like, oh, we're all in this together, because we talk about community a lot. So I think it's important to just make sure you're following up so they know to sign up with you. And what else was I going to say about that? Yeah, so just to not be afraid of following up and all these different ways that I'm going to go over. I don't have very long because she's over it. So we put together, like, this is more Kate put together, this like follow-up document that we're going to share with you guys. So I'm like referencing it. And this talks about following up like 7 to 9 times. So that's also a thing, like, this is over a period of time. This isn't like 7 to 9 times in a week or anything. So it's going to talk about like examples. So you guys, we're going to go over it, and you can also reference this later. But types of follow-ups are in person, email, Facebook or IG message, Facebook, IG comment, or call or text. And also I wanted to say before I forget, I think I wrote it in here, another really good way to follow up with somebody like very like incognito is like, once you have invited them or sent them a cart or you've been talking to them, just make it a point to like watch their stories and see, like, not like fake that you're interested in them, but just make sure that you're like checking in on their stories and commenting, unrelated to Beachbody, but just something here and there, because I feel like that's kind of a reminder. I'm talking to this like social media girl that wants to like, basically she's giving away like free content, but her goal is to sign people up for her like online workshops. And she's good. She'll like watch my stories time to time and just comment. And I'm like, I know what she's doing. And it does, in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of want to join her workshop. I'm doing a free one first. But like, you know, I'm like, she's good. Like she's saying something authentic, but like, I know that she's following up with me, like in an indirect way. So I just think, and no, you know, I think that's cool. So yeah, that's all I'll share for that. And then you can go into more, right, Kate?
Yeah. And I will just actually share the document, share screen the document. And it's funny because literally as we're doing this, I was thinking about a different follow-up. So here's like, I started this document and Amber and I were working on it, follow-up 101. So like, again, you're going to hear this so many times, but the fortune is in the follow-up. And if you're not following up with people, you're missing a big like portion of people, because it does take 7 to 9 times. But also like remembering, I follow up with people until they tell me no or they join me. So like, don't think that following up is a bad thing. People miss your emails, people forget, people get busy. People may think that they responded and saved it as a draft. I've done that so many times. So like, it's really important to follow up and have a system for following up. So as far as tracking your follow-ups, you can use Google Sheets, like create like a Google Sheet with somebody's name, when you followed up with them last, what you followed up with them about. You can also use Google Streak. And I think next week is when Eden's going to do our call on Google Streak. So if you have questions about that, stay tuned for next week's call, because Eden is going to drop some knowledge on Streak. And like, if you want to go old school, because like documenting it online or through your computer or phone or whatever doesn't work for you, use a notebook, pen and paper, write out their name, write out the last time you followed up with them, what you followed up with them about. And then like how often you should follow up with people is really important too. I like to follow up with somebody like 3 days after, I give them a few days, and then a week after, and then 2 weeks after, and so on and so forth. But here are some examples of different follow-ups you can use. And this one just covers like that 3-day follow-up for me is, hey, I totally understand how busy life can be. So I want to bump this email to the top of your inbox. Are you ready to get started working towards those goals of yours? Hope you're having a great week. Best, Caitlin. It's very simple. It's very direct and to the point. And there's another one. Here's a bar specific one. Subject, meet me at the bar, which is really cute. I want to do a newsletter that says that now. Hope you're having a good week. I wanted to check in and see how things are going. It sounded like you were ready to make, it sounded before like you were ready to make a change and get going on these goals. I would love to help you out. You okay? Hold on. Sorry, guys. You okay? I would love to help you out. I'm about to start my brand new bar program, and I'm so excited for everyone to try it. My good friends were in the official test group. Check out how crazy their results are, and then sharing a picture. And any of these, you can always share a graphic, whether it's like, you okay? You okay? Okay. Whether it is a transformation of yours, whether it is like a promo that you have. So saying like you could make a cute promo really easily, picture on like Canva or over, saying $20 off bar blend challenge packs this month or something. Just a transformation, whatever. And then, hey, I wanted to reach out to you one last time to help you get started working on your goals. I know you've expressed interest before and wanted to get healthy, and I thought of you today, especially now that the holidays are over and spring is fast approaching. I'd like to help you create those results. You spitting it more? Yep. Sorry, guys. And then here's a great one for Instagram too, because again, this is why it's important to ask for people's Instagram handle or their Facebook handle in your forms, so you can reach out via Instagram or stalk their stories. Like Amber said, be like, hey lady, I want to make sure you got my email about my next challenge. Sometimes I get filtered into junk, and that's really common too. But the idea is that you are constantly following up and that you are making it a habit, because again, people are going to fall through the cracks otherwise, and you rather have somebody join you than join somebody else. But you'll hear it at Summit, you'll hear it at trainings, how often people follow up. And I'm pretty good about having a system. And again, just going till you hear no. You can go, here's like number 7, because there's 7 through 9. So, hey, I've tried to reach out to you a few times with no success. So I'm going to take you off my follow-up list. If coaching or a group is something you'd like to chat about in the future, please don't hesitate to message me, and I'll be happy to give you more info. I'm not going anywhere, so you know where to find me. Best of luck to you. So that can be like the final one, or just add them to like once a year follow-up or once every 6 months. But the idea is that you are constantly following up. And again, it's not bugging people. If you think about email ads, like who has subscribed to or bought something and it automatically adds you to like an email list? Do you know how often you get emails? Like Urban Outfitters is one. If I buy something from there, I get like 7 emails in a week from them. And it's just reminding people that they've got the sale going on and you don't want to miss out on it. So just remembering, like, you're a business just like any of these companies. When you buy something or when somebody reaches out to you, it's your job to follow up, because people, like, it's not our, sorry, getting distracted by Ron. Okay. It's our job to like email people. It's our job to check in with people. It is not their job to email us back. So like we have that sense of urgency when we're talking to people, but they don't have that same sense of urgency unless you've been talking about a date. You're offering an incentive, like that helps add that urgency, but it's still missed by people because it's not their job. It is our job. So that's why it's important to remember, like, you're letting people fall through the cracks if you're not following up with them. That's one person who you could help. And it's remembering also they're a person and not like a challenge pack. And that your job starts when they get a pack from you to help them get results. But never feel weird about it, or it's like the same as inviting, because you want to help people. So that was that in a nutshell. I think I went by really quickly through that.
I wanted to add really quick, you talked about like inserting an image, and I've had a lot of luck with doing an image of myself, like a transformation picture of me, and then going into Canva and then saying something like, I don't know, that your next, whatever, like next join me for my next group, this date. And then just like having like my follow-up text and then having that image. People are very like visual. And so I think sometimes people are like, blah, blah, whatever, what's this picture? And so I feel like I've gotten a lot more responses because I'll do Google Streak, which we're going to have a call later with Eden on, and I'll send a mass email, insert that picture, because you can just insert it where you want it. If you go into Google, you can like attach as a file, or you can insert image, and you can insert an image wherever you want. So I'll be like the text and then my image. And I'll just send those like mass emails out to, like 200 people at a time. And I feel like those are the ones I get replied back to. Sometimes I'll even have somebody reply from like 2 months ago, and they'll be like, oh, when's your next group or whatever. So I think that's a really like easy way to follow up visually through email.
Does anybody have any questions or any ways they're following up? And you could even take it a step further. I'm thinking about Eden's invites. You could send people a video message on Instagram and be like, hey girl, not sure if you saw my email. Again, just trying different ways to get creative with it. And actually I just was thinking about this before I said I had an idea, or I remembered a type of follow-up that I'm going to add to the list. A while back, Amy did a call on Set Your Soul on Fire about following up with people who didn't purchase their share cart, and how you change their share cart and edit it down so it's less expensive, and then be like, hey girl, hope all is okay. I wanted to reach out because I sent you the cart and I never heard back, and I wanted to make sure that everything was good, and I wanted to see if you wanted to join my next group. I edited your cart so it's a little less expensive if that was what's holding you back, like, etc. And she did examples of different share carts that she went in and edited and then made them less expensive and sent the follow-up with that. And so that's a way of taking it further. If you have people who you've sent share carts to and you've never heard back from, like editing their cart, checking in with them, and resending it. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything they want to share? Anything that's been working for them?
I don't have like any specific thing that has particularly been working for me, but today I've got a ton of leads, and I send emails, and maybe like a fifth of them have responded, right? So I actually texted. I went through like my office today, and I look at this freaking crazy monster. Oh my God. I texted them like, hey, I see that your trial is going to end soon. I just wanted to see if you got my email. I know it probably went to junk. And nobody's responded yet. I mean, it was only like 4 or 5 people, but definitely like out of my comfort zone texting. But I'm probably going to do that more often, especially for people that fill out forms and put their phone number and for my leads.
So you're talking about free customer leads or paid customer leads that you got through Beachbody, right? And then also people, again, that's another way, and why forms are important, and making sure you have a form. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go to Jotform and you can create a really basic form. And you can do one through Google Forms as well. I'm trying to remember. There are multiple sites that you can do them for. I have Jotform, and that's really easy to create. And you can be like, just say a little blurb about your group, a photo, and then be like, what's your name? What's your email? What are your goals? When are you ready to start? What's your Instagram handle, Facebook handle, if that applies, and phone number, like add their phone number. I've seen, who else has that? Emily Favre has an email or a phone number thing in hers. This is just different ways to like contact people. And again, I'm thinking about things as I'm talking to you guys. Why don't, for follow-ups too, if somebody has questions, be like, hey, do you have 15 minutes? We can get on the phone and I can answer any questions that you may have. Or like show them, do a Zoom and like show them how Beachbody On Demand works, show them all that it offers. Like get creative with different ways to follow up with people. There's 2 weeks left. And if you're working on, like, if you're somebody who's new and you're struggling with closing people and you're struggling with that final piece of the puzzle. Don't be afraid to like get on the phone with people. Try talking to people, sharing your personal experience and sharing the value and hearing from you can really like set that next level of like, I don't know, rapport with them. But also like it's easier to do that when you're a new coach and you have less people that you're talking to. Or even in your first year, I did that. I used to get on the phone my first year with people all the time. Now I don't do that. But if you're newer and you have, you know, less people that you're talking to, it's definitely something that you can utilize. And it's uncomfortable, but you're just going to get more comfortable by doing it.
I was just going to say, like, that sounds so terrifying sometimes when you think about it. Like, even for me, and I'm, like, super outgoing, you know, but, like, I don't, like, just the thought of, like, talking to somebody on the phone and, like, being on the spot with questions is so scary. But it's just, like, when you first started inviting people and, like, you were always word vomiting, you know, like, it's such good practice. And I'm kind of, like, looking forward to actually doing that because I need that practice.
And you can even say, I've only been doing this for 6 months. If you have a question that I can't answer, let me look it up for you. It might take a minute, but let me look it up. There's the coach. We have this awesome thing. If it's talking about coaching or if it's talking about something on BOD, like Google Coach FAQ, search in the team page. Like there are so many ways to do it. And 9 times out of 10, somebody is going to respect you for saying, I don't know that answer, but let me find it for you. Like they're not going to be mean. They're not going to like, unless they're a complete asshole, but everybody's been new at something, you know, like I think that's something to remember too, just like any other job. This is just like any other job. You're going to learn as you go. If you're not good at something, the only way to get good at it is by doing more of it. Hold on. And so like if something scares you or if you have something that makes you uncomfortable, look up trainings, even if it's not just our team calls and from the team pages or even Set Your Soul on Fire, like look up YouTube trainings on how to close people, how to talk to people if that's something you struggle with, because you should be able to talk to people on the phone, in person. It's just going to help you help more people is having those conversations. So I really want to encourage you guys, if talking to people or inviting people or something about sharing on social media or going live, like if those things scare you, do them, but also look into trainings on them. And they don't have to be like Beachbody related trainings. Like I know for Amy, when she was a new coach, she didn't know how to close people or talk to people. So she looked into scripts. She took like courses on like how to talk to people, learning how to close people, how to have those good conversations with people. So if you want those kind of results, if you want to live the Amy Silverman lifestyle or be like a top 10 coach, are you actually looking into like trainings and how you can do things? Are you taking your business to the next level and not just doing the bare minimum by hopping on these calls, this call, the Set Your Soul on Fire call, the National Wake Up Call, but like, are you taking that extra initiative to get better at something that is new to you?
I want to add too that, if like getting on the phone with someone is scary, you can always start with like recording your voice. I feel like that's a good one because then if you hate it, you can just like delete it and then do it again, because then somebody can at least hear your voice and I don't know, there's a connection that happens, I feel like. But also too, we have to remember that that person that we're talking to doesn't have an expectation of how it's going to go. They're not like, whoa, she really messed that up. Like nobody, like we're putting pressure on ourselves that there's no like messing up. If any, like when I first signed up, I sent people the link. We used to do links with our coach ID at the end. And I sent about like a bunch of links out to people without my coach ID on it. And they were like, cool, that didn't do anything. And I was like, oh, my bad, sorry. And then I just sent it again. And I was like really nervous or really embarrassed, but they didn't care. They were just like, that didn't work. Tell me what to do. So like the person on the other end is not judging you as hard. They're not going to be like expecting anything. So whatever you give them is all they're expecting, you know? That makes sense.
So I was thinking about when like I send an invite, I get so many like responses like, can you tell me more, or can you explain how that works? And instead of sending the script that I usually do that entails all of it, I kind of wanted to make like like a pre-recorded message, or at the time I could even message like almost a video or a voice, just so it's a little bit more personal, and I feel like I can explain it better that way too. I don't know if anyone's done that, but I feel like sometimes even with the script, it's a little bit hard to explain over just an email or a DM. So yeah, I was thinking about doing the video, or not even the video, just even a voice thing to make it a little bit more personal too.
I like that. And I think that's a totally good thing to do, but I would also make sure you're getting more information, because like you'll hear this all the time too. If Instagram or Facebook disappeared and you were just talking to people through Instagram or Facebook, like you won't have a business. So you need to make sure you're getting people's emails, so you can be like, what's your email? And I can add you to my newsletter, or what's your email so I can contact you through there, but we can keep talking through here, and then send them that video. I know Britt Jasperson and Bree Headley both have videos on like what coaching is, and also about like the challenge group experience, I believe too. So you can totally make little videos and do that. It's like finding what works for you, but getting creative with it too.
I know that a lot of our coaches, I just thought of this because I know Madison does this, and maybe Jacqueline, but I know a lot of people don't go to emails. They just use like DMs to like pretty much talk to people. But I realized just now when you're talking, Kate, that one of the biggest things for me, why I'm just sharing why emails, why I like it, is because I can ask what? That was a weird way to say that. I can ask a lot of questions that I think would be too hard to send in a DM, you know, it's like my step 2, where it's just like, you know, what experience have you had? What's your nutrition like, because I feel like when people answer those, then I have a better insight to like be able to recommend a program. But also I feel like there's something special that happens on the end of the person writing out those answers. Like they really come to terms with like what hasn't worked for them, how much they're struggling. I don't know. I felt like that part was important for me when I was writing out my answers. And I'm pretty sure like when I was filling out, like talking to Kate, like it was the same thing that I'm still sending out. I'm still sending out the same questions for like 5 years, but I don't know. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're not using email, just make sure that you are like making sure to ask those important questions, not just like, what are your goals, but like asking deeper questions. Cause I think that you can connect with them on a deeper level, and then kind of remind them if in follow-ups, like, hey, I know you really wanted to work on, you know, losing the 20 pounds you gained, or I don't know. I know you talked about like wanting to be, I know you're getting married. You know, sometimes things come up that you didn't know, like they're engaged, or there's like a reunion, or I don't know, like something important that comes up when they're answering those questions.
So I do mainly talk in DMs, but I do have tons and tons of emails, because I do exactly what you do, Amber, and I'm pretty sure I used her initial script that says like all of the questions, like what have you previously done, what works for you, what doesn't, what are your goals, like how's your nutrition. So what I do is like because I don't use email, but to capture their email and just to have their contact information in my DM, I'll be like, hey, so great, I just have a few questions. What's your email? I'm going to send you like this big email, and I don't want to send all of it over through DM, but you can always just respond back to me through DM here if you don't want to conversate in email. And a lot of the times they'll be like, oh, sweet, if you just hit me. Oh, sweet, I just got your email. These are my answers, or something like that. That works for me.
That's what I've been doing too. Like I always make sure I get the email just to have it. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a majority of the people I'm talking to though, like just want to talk over DM, I guess. But I'm excited for Google Streak because I want, I don't know, I guess to be a little bit more organized.
I thought it was really cool on not this call, Set Your Soul on Fire, but the last one with Courtney Burton, how she says that when she emails people, she includes the free workout, and then it's almost like she includes the breakdown of everything that like you get, and then says like a free workout, and then follows up with like, have you tried the workout yet? Oh my God, so excited for you to get started. And I was like, oh, I really like that she sends a workout, something of value immediately for them to start doing, so that she can already start like coaching them.
And one thing I just want to add, like if DMs and stuff is working for you now, that's great. But you want something that's duplicatable so that you can pass on, and that, like Madison, you said, that you can stay organized, because long term, as your business grows, like, unfortunately, things can get lost. And I just think email is just a little bit more professional, but everybody's business is your own. Like, you're your own CEO, so you can just make it work. I just think long term, something like Streak will help you be just more organized and which is why I'm really excited for Ian's call, so she can explain pipelines and how that all works. Because I think if you take the time to set Streak up and get in the hang of it, it makes follow-ups and checking in and all of those things so much easier. But yeah. Does anybody have anything else? But I really like the idea of adding the free workout in. I did that a while ago for one of the sample workouts, and I stopped doing that. But that's a great way to reconnect with people too. And a great way to touch base. Be like, did you try that workout? Excited for you to do it. And it's just adding value too. Well, you're asking them all these questions to add value.
Besides sending a sample workout, something that I do also is, if people aren't particularly like 100% ready to sign up or like commit to a challenge pack, I go to the Coach Link generator and I'll send them the link for a free membership, just so that if they ever do decide down the line that they want anything from Beachbody, you're still associated with them. Like, you're still going to be their coach. Like, for instance, I was messaging on my like page with this woman, okay? And she was like, I want to do the 100-day challenge, blah, blah, blah. This was like a month ago. And I sent her the challenge pack. I sent her a couple follow-ups, and she never purchased it. And then she ended up saying like she just wasn't ready. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to send you a free membership anyway, so that you can like at least access the website. So she signed up for the free membership, and then she ended up like purchasing items, and I could see it in my coach office, but she never said anything to me. So I followed up with her today. I was like, hey, I noticed that you purchased this. And she's like, oh yeah. I was like, all right, well, if you need any help with anything, let me know, because I'm your coach. And she's like, all right, cool. So that's another thing that I want to add to my emails, or at least my follow-ups, like, is the free membership, just because they can still go online and like see everything on demand. Like, well, not everything, like they can't see the programs, but they could see like the free stuff that's on there, like Clean Week and like some of the nutritional stuff in the blog.
And I think that's something to remember too. If somebody says, you know what, I can't afford this, if you take them through the scripts and you send that final script that says like the cost, or you send them their share card, they're like, you know what, I can't afford that. Ask them what they can afford. And if they're like, I can't afford anything, you're like, here's this free 14-day trial, and then you can cancel it, but you can try the workouts for free for 2 weeks. And then, like, we can touch base from there. But then you're giving them something. You're getting them in the door. Then again, like Jacqueline said, they're going to be your customer when they do come back, and they're going to appreciate that you started them with something. So, like that. Anyone else have anything else they want to add or talk about? It doesn't have to be follow-up related. I guess we kind of went through that relatively quickly, but I think it was a good call.
Well, I just typed something, so I'll go ahead and say it. But the day before yesterday, this girl literally told me she cannot do anything, and she didn't also feel comfortable giving her card info. So I just went ahead and sent over the link with my coach ID on it as well, and sent it to her so she could start. And I'm adding her to the group just for 7 days so she could kind of get a feel of it in my group, and then later see how she likes it, or when she's able to come back, she can like know that how it was and that I tried to help her out at that point. So
I was also just thinking about that, like, there are enough sample workouts, and they're not always through, like, they're through Vimeo, whatever. I don't know why I can't say that right now, Vimeo, like they're without technically signing up, like people can access the free sample workouts. So you could give them like a free week of workouts with like the different sample workouts. that way too. If somebody really doesn't feel comfortable adding in like their credit card information, just having something for them. Again.
I love that idea, Kayla. You have really good ideas. I just wrote everything you just said down. I really love that because I get like a lot of like financial pushback sometimes, which I know some of the time it's not. I think I talked about this in like our push chat the other day. Like some of the times it's really not about finances. Some of the times people are just like using that as like a get away from me message. Like I don't even care because they don't really understand what we're talking about at first, or like they don't really see the value in a challenge pack at first. So I love that. And I've sent out free trials before and people are like, I don't want to have to put my card info in. I'm always going to forget to cancel. So that would be a great idea, like sending the free membership and then adding them to your accountability group for a week, because I will say like that accountability is addicting. Like being able to post like, you know, a vulnerable post or like seeing other people posting like healthy recipes and stuff, it's going to keep them like wanting to have that motivation. That's like such a big deal for me. And I know it is for a lot of people. So that's a great idea, being like, hey, I'm going to add you for just 7 days. Like you could do Clean Week in that time. It's free. You could get Clean Week on BOD for free right now.
Yeah, because a lot of people just don't know what it is. So I want to be able to at least like add them and be like, okay, this is your 7 days. And like, then after like see when they'll continue, like not give them everything completely. But yeah, I have all these great ideas. They just need to work. Like I need to like get it. But yeah, like I'm trying to continue to like just find my flow, but I got all these ideas. I just need them to kind of start working for me. So I'm trying.
You are full of such good ideas. I love it. I remember like when we first started, you were like, first set of dumbbells on me. And I was like, yes, girl, I love that. Amazon Prime someone dumbbells.
And I will say like the girl, and I've done that for the girl that I did, and just the group that I do have, like they have all been really engaged because of things that I've been doing, but I'm really trying to like, and I heard this in the call, like I think last week, where it's like, I want to focus on my group, but like not also like not focus on other people coming in as well. So that way I'm still adding value to them, but I'm still trying to like do my invites daily. And I've been doing more of that lately. So really hoping to like start adding more people in my groups all throughout the month. So hopefully like it continues to go well.
I check in on my challenge group at night. I get the notifications all day long, but I wait until nighttime, and then like I do all my business activities during the day, and then my challenge group check in at night. I'll like post my entire day, and then I will sort my feed by recent posts, and then I'll comment on every single buddy's post, like every single buddy. I'm my mom. I'll comment on every single person's post. I'll like, you know, react to every single thing, just because it does make everybody feel good knowing that like you're actually there, like cheering them on, like you do see everything. I don't skip a post ever. Out of like 60 people in there, I don't skip it. I would feel terrible. I do it every single day. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend or not.
Can you do that from your phone? Schedule like and sort the posts?
Yeah. If you go to
Hello, why haven't I been doing this?
Dude, come on. Yeah, if you go to your group, I'm just going to go just so I'm telling you the right information. If you like scroll down a little bit, it will say like under your announcements, it'll say new activity, and then to the right, it'll say sort. So you just click on sort and do recent posts, and then everything is sorted.
Okay, hold on. I'm slow. So I'm in the group on my phone. What do I do?
So if you scroll down a little bit, under announcements, I don't know if you have any pinned posts, it'll say recent posts.
Recent activity. Oh!
The sort button.
Oh my goodness. This is a game changer. Cause like I'm always, cause things, the algorithm's like, I miss people's posts. So this is great. Cause I feel the same way. I feel so bad when I check and like 2 days have gone by and someone asked a question and it's like seen by 30. Like, really? Everyone? Nobody can even answer that person's question. If they tag me, obviously I'm going to see it, but sometimes, you know, people don't tag me that. Thank you. See, you got to show up to these calls. You just learn so much.
Even us coaches.
I'm learning. I was going to add to Kayla with all your ideas. Like, I think that, you know, you're doing all the work to get this ball rolling. And then once you start getting like consistent challengers and coaches, like you'll be able to implement your great ideas. So like write them down, like implement what you can. But I think that once you'll find your flow and you'll be able to like implement them. So you're on the right track. Then everyone can steal your ideas if they don't have them. Because I have to steal people's ideas. I'm not very good at coming up with ideas on my own. I just copy everybody else. It's okay. Awesome. Wanted to see if there's anything else. Josie's phone died. Schedule.
I have a question for everybody, because I'm like the Team Cup hype man right now. Who, raise your hand if you're not on a team. Katie?
Wait, what did you just say? Sorry.
If you're not on a team for Team Cup right now, raise your hand. Get on a team.
I am on a team. I misheard.
Oh, okay. No, if you're not. I made a post in my coach group, and I made like a pinned post with a banner, and I was like, Team Cup signups. I was like, if you're in this group, you have to sign up for Team Cup. It's going to be baller as hell. You're going to love it. It's going to be fun. Even if you don't do anything with it, it's going to be a good push for your business. So there's 2 teams in the coach group on Team Cup because I was like so serious about it. Like, what have you got to lose? Honestly, nothing. It's going to be so cool. Like, you could win stuff.
And you can get promo codes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I love that. I posted on my team page too, but no one commented or said anything.
I even went live about it. I was like so hyped. I was like, there's a contest. I'm a very competitive person, so I was like super excited about that.
I just like the prizes. The prizes are fun. Who isn't motivated by stuff? And if anything else, like it's just, what if you hit Success Club next month and you're not on a team, and then you see everybody else's prizes and you're like, I have FOMO. Why didn't I just sign up for a Team Cup? And I mean, I think the duffel bag, Eden. Good
and
point.
there's a bar, like, I mean, that's like the top prize, but you can get a whole bar for your house. I have no room for that. I would give it to somebody.
And a 10-round shirt. That program didn't even come out yet.
Yeah, it's exciting. And one thing I remember, like my first Team Cup 6 years ago, like I had never hit Success Club before. I was my 3rd month into coaching, and I was on a team with leaders in Set Your Soul on Fire at the time, which is funny because only one of those people are still around. But that was the first month, and everybody on the team had been like hitting Success Club 10. And that first month, or that was like my 3rd month in the business, I wasn't a success starter, BT Doug. But I hit Success Club 12. And so I think it forces you to level up a bit because it just goes back to the accountability thing. Like you're working with other people. You don't want to let people down. And it's just fun to collaborate and to work together, and remembering that it's like the 5 people you surround yourself with, you know, like you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So like, that's really what Team Cup is. Like you're surrounding yourself with, well, you're one of those 5 in this case, but like, you know, you get to level up with those people. So I think this was a good call. And I still have to make some like final tweaks to that follow-up document, but then, I mean, I might just share it in the team pages or post it in the files, and then we can just continue to update it. And like, you can add follow-ups, but just remember, fortune is in the follow-up. This was a good call, and I'm excited for next week's call with Eden on Streak. So make sure to come on next week. Thank you, guys.
I never got a picture. I took a picture.
Yeah, take one now.